G'day guys, thanks for stopping by. Friday afternoon, and I received a package today in the mail, and I'm really happy about this one. Been looking forward to this one for a long time, and hopefully you'll enjoy this. I've been researching and looking at Android head units for the Pajero for a long time, and they've always seemed to have at least one problem. It doesn't matter which unit you picked, whether it was a screen, whether it was issues with the Bluetooth, the sound of the amplifier that's actually in the head unit, a whole bunch of different stuff, and literally it is an ocean of information, misinformation, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and basically you just don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I've revisited this recently with one of the guys from work who's also been in the same boat. He recently picked up a double DIN Kenwood unit that he paid a few dollars for, but he's always wanted the Android head unit. So when I've picked up this one, he's very much paying attention to see how it goes. This one cost me around about $310, $315. I will put a link down in the description where I got this one off eBay. Again, I've been really happy with how quickly he got it to me. He's got a 99 plus positive feedback on his store, so that's really good, and that gave me a bit of confidence to buy it from him, because the brand that I've gone with is actually a Pumkin. So you'll see here, this is basically the box that the unit come in, and it did come in a secondary box. There was no additional padding, which I probably would have expected for an electrical item. No biggie, because the item did arrive perfect. There was no issues at all. Just on top you've got a couple of manuals. Now this manual appears to be fairly detailed, and some of the other documentation has Pumkin on it as well. But that's where the labelling and branding ends. Typically these units, or certainly the ones I've seen, will have a little pumpkin on the front. And you can see it even on the image here. I'll put an image up there on the screen. But this one does not. Packed on top of the unit we've got a frame. And this is basically the unit itself. It's got a little plastic screen on it. I did go with one with a volume knob, not particularly because I wanted this layout, but simply because this one had all the features that I wanted. I wanted to have AM and FM radio. Some of the units don't seem to have AM. I do a lot of listening to AM on the way to work in the car, so that's why I went with this one. We're going to see how well that works or doesn't work. I'm very much interested in that. So it does have 4 gig of RAM, and it's also 32 gig of storage space, additional storage space with 2 SD card slots or micro SD card slots there. There are also some USB cables that come with this out of the back that you can either put a Wi-Fi dongle in, or you can put in an additional USB thumb drive or something along those lines. It has the higher resolution screen. It's approximately a 7-inch screen, 6.95. Some of the other spec models only had something like an 800 by 460 or something like that. So this does have the higher resolution. It's certainly not HD by any means, but I think I'll appreciate that slightly extra resolution. I'm going to be connecting this up to a 4G Wi-Fi modem that's going to live in the car permanently. This will basically have a permanent connection. Rather than me have to hotspot from the phone, I want to have a dedicated system, so when I get out of the car, take the phone, this is always going to be on, it's always going to be set up, and I don't need to worry about that at all. Huge variety of layouts on those screens, whether you've got knobs, soft buttons, hard buttons like this down the side. This is the rear of the unit. Now I believe there have been some heating issues with some of the Android head units. It does look like there is room here for a fan, but there's never been one installed. Suggests that this is just a generic back and body, etc., and then they just put in whatever they want depending on that specific model. It doesn't weigh much at all, certainly a lot less than I would probably have expected. Additionally in the box, some bracketry for getting this to fit into your double DIN slots. Feedback did suggest that they are a little bit wider than some others and need to be finagled a little bit to get in. RCA cables for running to an amplifier. This one is your 2 USB ports that you can run to either, again, a Wi-Fi dongle or just for USB storage for music, videos, whatever you want. This one is another RCA plug which will go to your microphone, and there is a microphone included, so it's interesting that they've gone with an RCA plug rather than a phono plug, 3.5mm. Your ISO standard ISO plug for powering and all that sort of stuff. I've got a feeling I'm going to need to cut this out and we're going to have to wire those up individually. If you have steering wheel controls, there's some cabling here for that. Now this is a trigger for your reverse. Again, all mine should be wired up. We've got an amp remote. We've got the handbrake safety. We're going to do a workaround for that. And then obviously just a ground there. Now whilst there's a lot of cables there, it's not as bad as it looks. You may need to buy an adapter from ISO to whatever your vehicle is, so Mitsubishi one for example. We won't be doing that, we're just going to cut it straight in. And half of these, certainly all of these ones here on this side, these are all speaker cables. So if you are going to plug it in via ISO, these are all going to be pre-wired, you don't need to worry about that. We're going to be using the amplifier. We are going to have to wire up a good portion of these ones here. Piece of cake though, no real problems. I'm going to take you through it. I'm probably not going to do all the individual wires, but we'll give you an idea of what that looks like if you need to go down that route. GPS receiver as well, that seems to be standard with all of the models. Also has an external Wi-Fi antenna that's included in the package. Most of the time I'm going to be going through the Wi-Fi router that's going to be in the car. But this was a nice little add-on, and I certainly wanted one that had the ability to have an external Wi-Fi antenna, just in case. Okay, so that's it. It's Friday night. I just wanted to bring you out and give you a quick look at this before we get stuck in. I am resisting the temptation of jumping in and getting started now because it's starting to get darker, and I was concerned that we might lose light while I'm midway through the job and I'm not going to be able to get a video of it. So we'll leave this till tomorrow. It's absolutely going to kill me. I'm ready to get stuck in now, but we'll leave that till tomorrow. So next time you see me, we'll be sitting in the Pajero, ready to start pulling that dash apart and getting stuck in. So see you tomorrow, and we'll get this done.